Have you ever wondered before how you could speed up the manifestation process to get what you want faster than you thought possible? People always say, well, why do some people get what they ask for quickly and other people get it slowly or not at all? This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. I'm gonna answer the question on time and the law of attraction and how to speed up the manifestation process in a shocking but simple way that will change your life forever. Let's go right into the video. So the question that I was asked was, why do some people ask what they want and get it fast and other people ask what they want and they get it slow or not at all? Simple answer is that your psyche, your psychology, your mind, and your life is the old iceberg analogy. Not the iceberg lettuce that, you put the croutons and the Caesar dressing on. I'm talking about the iceberg analogy, right? You only see the tip of the iceberg, but then there's the whole iceberg below it. Your conscious mind that says, let's take the example of money. I want to make $10,000 a month. That's your conscious desire. Or I want to make $5,000 a month, or I want to make $2,000 a month, or I want to be a millionaire. That's a conscious desire. You're aware of it. But the human psychology, according to psychologists, is 95% unconscious. So below the tip of the iceberg is what's controlling your life. Now, you might have belief systems that have been programmed since the time you were born, or they might have been programmed from your parents, from previous generations, your grandparents. So you might consciously want more money, but you grew up in a religion that said money was evil, or your dad always struggled financially, and so he said rich people were greedy, and he said, what do you think, money grows on trees? Or he said money's not that important. And so you have a belief system programmed into you subconsciously that you're unaware of that is actually blocking your conscious desire from manifesting. Therefore, it will take longer for you to attract what you want in your life. It's much like when you're trying to take off in an airplane, but there's too much turbulence and the plane can't get up to the highest altitude, or it needs to drop to get back down to more smoother flying because there's too much resistance. Or one time when I was flying, we were trying to land in San Diego and there was so much wind that we had to go land in Palm Springs and wait for a couple hours on the runway. And there was too much resistance, there was too much friction for the plane to land. And that's much like most people live their life. They consciously want something, but their habitual mind is programmed in another way. And that's why I always talk about download my free success hypnosis. This will change your life. It's jakeshypnosis.com. You have to train the mind for something new and different. It's just like if you say, I want to run a 6-minute mile, but you haven't run in 9 years and you're 150 pounds overweight, your body is programmed to run a 1 hour mile, but you're trying to get it down to 6 minutes. You have to train the body in a new way to get a different result. And it's the same way with the mind. And now I want to tell you a quick way for you to actually break through your conditioning and get what you want quicker and faster than you ever thought possible. So what I'm going to tell you is going to shock you. Get rid of the idea of time. It doesn't even exist anyways. I always can tell very quickly off of the comments and emails and conversations that I have with people who gets it and who doesn't. Now, when people bring up time, they're trapped in a dualistic mindset. Our mind is dualistic by nature, but the universal mind and the subconscious mind doesn't even understand the idea of time anyways. Why? Because every single thing in this universe, your wall, your tablet, your phone, or your computer that you're watching this on, is all energy. It's all one source of origination. And energy's never created or destroyed. It just takes different forms, different frequencies, different vibrations, different densities. It's all one energy. Thought is a form of that energy at a frequency that we can't perceive with our physical senses. Well, the wall is just at a different frequency and density that we can perceive with our physical senses. And time doesn't exist. The money you want is already here, right? The romantic relationship you want, it already exists. It's already here. It's your soulmate isn't going to time travel from Mars to planet Earth next week. They're already on planet Earth. The dream house you want, either the raw materials to build it already exists or it physically exists and it's currently in another owner. It's in a different vibration. You're not in alignment with it yet. Everything you want already exists. So there's no time to decide when you get it. It's about being in a place of no resistance to the desire. So forget about time entirely. The goal is to get to a place where you're not even thinking about time. The goal is to get to a place where, my last video I actually pulled out, I've got a bunch of them now, but my South Korean publisher gave me my book in South Korean right here. This is not in English, this is in South Korean. And which is crazy because I'm getting paid in South Korea for my books. And I was a 19-year-old, I was a college dropout, I failed junior English class in high school, I finished an independent study. I had every reason to never get paid and become a successful author. And what I started to do was I started to tell myself all the time that I was already a successful author. I told myself it all the time. I was training my mind. Just like you aren't really even your name. Like if I said, "Who are you?" And you said, "I'm Billy." I use the name Billy because somebody commented and said I always use the name Billy or Susie as an example. But let's say that you said your name was Billy. You're not really Billy. That's a label that's used to describe you. It's not truly who you are. You're not Billy. It's just a word that's used to describe you. The only reason you habitually identify with yourself as Billy is through repetition. Because your parents always called you Billy. Billy this, Billy that. Billy, eat your broccoli. Billy, come on, eat your carrots. You can't have dessert without. Billy, did you spill cranberry juice on the carpet? Come here. Billy, it's time to wake up and go to school. You were told it so many times. It got conditioned into you, and psychologically you identified with that to the point where it habitually became a part of who you were, one and the same with your consciousness. Most people's consciousness is one and the same with the things they don't want. In the same way people have identified with themselves as "I'm Billy." They've identified with themselves as "I'm too fat to get what I want. I'm not smart enough to get what I want. Money's evil." Even though consciously they wish they had money. Even though consciously the universe doesn't care how much you weigh, how little you weigh, what education you have. It's our habitual programming. And so I habitually programmed into myself that I was this successful author. And time didn't exist anymore. I wasn't sitting there saying, "I wonder how much longer it will take for me to be a successful author." Technically, according to the physical world, I wasn't a successful author. My friends were talking me out of it. My mom wanted me to stop. It wasn't working. Quote unquote. I wasn't making money at it. I wasn't successful at it. But of course, that making money wasn't my barometer for success. And so that didn't deter me. And so what I started to do is I convinced myself, I brainwashed myself that I already was a successful author. Whereas you look with your physical eyes and you would say, "You're not a successful author." That's what you would have said to me at the time. But I would have said, "Yeah, I am. Yeah, I already am. I already am that. I already have what I want. I already have all of these things that I desire." Even though it was delusional, quote unquote. But I convinced myself of it. And so time didn't matter to me. I wasn't sitting there saying, "Well, I wonder how much longer until I get what I want. Tick, tick, tick on the clock." I already was it. And so I started living as if I already was it. I started going out, pushing my books, talking, doing speeches. It built. That self-published book ended me getting book contracts with Penguin Random House, the #1 publishing company in the world. It led to this YouTube channel blowing up, and then it led to me getting paid to do my books in South Korean. I wasn't wondering when it would happen because I wasn't separate from it. And the problem that most people have with time and the law of attraction, and the reason most people can't create what they want fast, is because there's a disconnect between their desire and the way that they view themselves. They don't view themselves as being a successful author, for instance. They don't view themselves as being somebody who already earns $10,000 a month or $2,000 a month or $500 a month or $1 million a year. They don't view themselves as a millionaire already. And so they're like, when's my millions coming? That's coming from a place of not having it anyways. And it's disregarding the basic premise that energy is never created or destroyed. Albert Einstein said himself that particles don't create other particles. All particles come from a source of origination. You can call that the universe, you can call that consciousness, you can call that anything you want. Alan Watts said you can't get wet by the word water. But when you understand that there's one source of origination, then everything you want already exists. It's just that you have to get through all the crap and clutter in your mind and train your mind to see a different reality than what is already there. So you don't hear a dog whistle. You blow a dog whistle, you can't hear it. The dog hears it. So you say, well, is that dog whistle real? How do you know it's real? You can't hear it. What if it's not even happening? Well, we know it's happening. It's just beyond the spectrum of sound that our physical senses, i.e. our ears, can comprehend. But it's happening. We just can't hear it. Similarly, whatever you want is already here. You just can't see it yet through the spectrum of visible light that your eyes can perceive. You don't see with your eyes. You see with the way that your brain is programmed. It's called perception. So if your perception is that money's hard to come by, there's no good guys out there, all bosses suck, there's no good jobs, this is why I can't have what I want, and I was the youngest child and so I didn't get enough attention, and nobody understands me, and I can't get the right mentors, and I've tried all of these stupid law of attraction techniques, none of them work. And if that's your perception, that's your reality. Because as you think, so shall you be. And so what I invite you to do is download my free success hypnosis and listen to the Second Mind Neuro Programmer. You can demo it for free. We created a piece of technology designed to rewire the brain so you see reality as you want it to be and can create it quicker and faster than you ever thought possible. And you can demo it for free. It's thesecondmind.com down below. Remember, you are one with the source of all things. You're already one with everything that you want. In fact, it's already here. And so when you get rid of the idea of how much longer and you start living as if you already have it, what would you do? What actions would you take? What would you do with your life? And you come from that place and you don't entertain, well, is this gonna come? How much longer? You put yourself in a place to attract miracles. Thank you for watching. Hashtag best life ever down below if you watch this video all the way through. Hashtag best life ever. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. Hashtag best life ever is, if you watch this video all the way through, you want to create the best life ever. You wouldn't watch this stupid guy talking about positivity and mindset and creating what you want unless you wanted to create the best life ever. Let's create a movement of people dedicated to that. Hashtag best life ever. Comment that down below. Press the subscribe button in the corner, hit the bell notification. That's what actually notifies you for a new video. Make sure that you demo the Second Mind Neuro Programmer down below, thesecondmind.com. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.